Okay, first off, I'm just noticing now that my ground plane here is the wrong color, so let's choose that, drop her here, throw that there, just so it doesn't blend into the sky, and then we're also going to take this background and move it down on the z-axis, like so probably, something like that. I don't know. Maybe that was the color I wanted it. Actually, yeah, now that I think about it. I don't know. We'll do that. It just looked like things were floating, and I didn't want that. Well, interesting. My wife posted some things about pop on Facebook the other day, and of all people, my father-in-law actually gave a pretty good idea. He asked if this cannon was going to be movable, whether you can move it back and forth, which I thought was a great idea. Because I was thinking about, setting it so that the longer you hold down the button to shoot, the more powerful it would be. But I like his idea of moving the cannon back and forth a limited amount, of course, so like maybe from here to here, and that way you can adjust how far you're shooting and the angle you're shooting. So let's go ahead and work on that. As of right now, we have our empty here, which is actually doing the shooting. This cannon, which the empty is parented to. And let's see, I don't think... Yeah, I want to have the cannon attached to the wheel. So we're going to shift select the cannon, shift select the wheel, and hit Control P to parent it. So now when the wheel moves, the cannon moves. So we're going to make the movement happen to the wheel, and everything else should follow. So first things first, what we're going to do is we're going to say down here, we're going to say on a keyboard press, and we'll say right arrow. And we're going to say end, and we're going to connect this to here. And we're going to say motion, and we'll say location. We've got X, Y, and Z, and it should be the X axis that we want to move it on. We'll say 0.10 or 0.1, and we'll hit P and hit the right arrow up, and there our cannon moves. Okay. So we're also going to give that wheel a property. We're going to make it an integer, sure, and we'll say it motion, or how about limits? Name it so it makes sense somewhat. And right now it's at 0. And what we're going to do is we're going to say when you press the arrow forward, we want the property that we just created, limits, to equal limits, or limit, plus 1. Oops, I just accidentally deleted it. Limit plus 1. So while you're holding down the plus sign, it should be, we might have to enable this pulse mode here, but it should be adding to that number, so it goes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 as we're going along. We'll click this information icon here, and we already have the it displayed when the game mode. We'll go into Z mode so it's easier to read. So we'll hit P, and you'll see, let's see, where does it say? Cylinder.limit. And, okay, so I press it. It doesn't count as where I'm holding it, so that's what I'm saying. We'll say pulse mode here. Let's give that a try. Okay, see, as we're holding it, the number's going up. And so let's say 75 will be the max. We'll do that in a moment. We'll do that right now. So what we're saying is when the keyboard is pressed and property limit is not equal to 75. So now, if we press P and we hit the right arrow here, when we get to 75, it stops. Now we're going to do the same thing going the other way. So we're going to go add a sensor. We're going to say it's a keyboard. We're going to say left arrow, and we should probably name these appropriately. So we'll say here right, and we'll call this one right limit, just so we know what they are. And we'll do the same over here. We'll say that this is a right, and this is right limit. And we will say here right. I'm just labeling stuff because using logic bricks like this are easy, especially if you're not a programmer, which is why I'm doing it this way, so that a lot of people can get involved. But if you don't label things and the game gets bigger and bigger, things can get confusing and a little lost here. Okay, so keyboard, this one will be left. And we're going to add a property here. We're going to say left limit. And we're going to say not equal to, or zero, limit is not equal to 0. So that's basically where it's starting. So basically, we're always going to have it in the far left starting point. And we're going to say end, and we'll call this left. And we'll connect this to here, this to here. And we're going to add a motion and a property over here. And we'll connect both of those. Like so. We'll call this left and this left limit. And we're going to say assign whatever limit is. We'll say limit equals whatever limit is minus 1. So before we were adding 1, now we're subtracting 1. And we're going to go negative 10 on the x-axis there. We can minimize all that. So basically, what we're saying, just to explain it one more time, when the right arrow key is pressed and the limit is not equal to 75, well then we'll move it forward and add to that limit amount. Same with left, only we're subtracting. So now I can press P up here, and in theory, if I hold down my right key, arrow key, boom, and it gets to the end and stops there. Now if I hit left, it goes back. Oh, but it kept going. Oh, we didn't turn on pulse mode there. We have to turn on pulse mode. Basically, that's what it's doing is, instead of me pressing the key once and it adding the number once, this is doing every frame. It's going to be adding or subtracting a number. So all the way forward, all the way back. I can go a little bit, just like so. And let's go back into textured mode here. And of course, the designer of the level can change the amount if he would like, just by changing the little options in there, which we'll go into when, as we said, when we're creating a level. Okay, so let's clone this guy a few times. Let's see. Let's go here, and right now we have the variable of bad birds equal to 3. Let's set that to 5, and then generate 5 birds. We'll shift D. We'll put penguin there. We can also shift D this on the x-axis, and we will say shift D and drag it down like so. And we'll add a couple of penguins here and here, and we're at 5. So let's have a look. So now we can make it. We don't have to have the penguin shoot as far, since we can move the cannon. But that's one of those things we'll tweak later on as we get more into the levels. Of course, we can save that so when the level refreshes. Oh, those guys are bouncing around over there. That's something we're going to work in the next tutorial. A lot of these blocks end up starting moving before the game gets going, and we need to change them so that their physics don't take effect until they're hit by a Tux penguin, which is something we're going to get into in probably the next tutorial or two. Something I probably should have done from the beginning, but I didn't. Move the cannon forward. Okay. And that's it for this tutorial. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. And I hope that you all have a great day. Keep on watching. Visit filmsbykris.com. That's Kris with a K. Or filmsbykris.com/POP for more information on this project. Thank you again. And I hope you all have a great day.